Hello friends, welcome to new video of political science. In this video we will learn how to solve true and false questions, right? So this is from the first chapter of part B, that is parliamentary model. Let's begin then. This is about me, and here is the first question. First question is, there is a close relationship between executive and judiciary in parliamentary form of government. There are mainly two forms of governments: parliamentary form of government and presidential form of government. In parliamentary form of government, total separation of power is followed. There is no relationship between the three organs of the government, that is legislature, executive and judiciary. But as far as parliamentary form of government is concerned, there is a relationship between executive and legislature, not judiciary but legislature, right? So executive and judiciary, there is no relationship between executive and judiciary in parliamentary form of government. There is relationship between executive and legislature. So the statement is false. The answer is false. Hopefully you got it. In parliamentary form of government, there is close relationship between executive and legislature. Executives are chosen from legislature itself. Moving to the next question. Next question is, lower house, that is Lok Sabha, is permanent house. In every parliament there are two houses, upper house and the lower house. And so far as upper house is concerned, in India it is Raj Sabha, and the lower house is concerned, in India it is Lok Sabha. So the Raj Sabha, this one is permanent house. Lok Sabha is not permanent house. It dissolves every 5 years. New elections are held for the whole Lok Sabha. New elections. But Raj Sabha, it is a permanent house. 1/3 of the member, that is 1/3 of member, retires every 2 years. So this one is permanent house. This is not permanent house. So the statement is false. Answer is false. Let's move to the next question. Next question is, multi-party system has a good effect on the working of the government, on the working of the parliamentary form of government. Multi-party system. Normally, if we see the mother of the parliamentary form of government, that is Britain, there are two major parties. Though there are two more parties in Britain, but there remain majority of the two is always there. One remains in power and one in opposition. Others do have certain seats, but they are not that important. So if you talk about the multi-party system, as far as India is concerned, we have 8 national parties and hundreds of regional political parties, and this multi-party system has actually weakened the democracy in India. There has developed power of politics of coalition, politics of defection has developed. So if we talk about multi-party system has a good effect, so statement is wrong. It doesn't have good effect actually on parliamentary form of government. It has negative effect. So the answer is false. Moving to the next question. Next question is, President dissolved the lower house in parliamentary form of government. Yes, on the recommendation of PM and the Council of Ministers, if President is satisfied, he dissolve, bhang kar deta hai lower house, that is Lok Sabha. So the statement is correct. So President dissolved the lower house, that is of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha. So answer is true. Let's move to the next question. Next question is the working of the parliamentary form of government is satisfactory in India. If we talk about the satisfaction of the people about the working is satisfactory in India. So it is not true. Why it is not true? Because we have seen that parliamentary form is how successful in England, and we have here so many problems. There is corruption, defection, coalition, purchasing power of the parties to make government. So if we see all these things, we know that it is not satisfactory. So far, we have not been able to raise our among the people the consciousness. Also, the public opinion has good public opinion has not been formed. So the statement is false. Then neutrality of the working of the Speaker of Lok Sabha is doubted. In parliamentary form of government, neutrality of Lok Sabha, it is assumed that whoever is chosen the speaker, he becomes neutral. But in India, if we say they remain stick to their party and they behave as a partyman speaker, so this statement is true. Neutrality of working, it is doubted. Neutrality of the working of the Speaker of Lok Sabha is doubted. So statement is true. Moving to the next question. Defection is a threat to parliamentary form of government in India. Defection is when a certain number of the party persons or party legislatures part away with the government or the party and form another group, that is a defection, and in that process they also can support others to topple the government, to scramble the government, or they become helpful in the fall of the government. So defection is a threat to the parliamentary form of government is true. It is actually for the money's sake, they defect, and for the post sake they defect and they support the opposition or the other party and they become ministers. This way it is sort of threat to the parliamentary form of government, right? Hopefully this is clear to you. Now president, next question is, president is bound to accept the advice of the council of ministers. Yes, if you talk about the president is a nominal head of the government, and the real executive is council of ministers with PM. So council of ministers, whatever suggest, PM president has to accept it, right? President can advise or can tell the council of ministers to reconsider, and if council of ministers reconsiders it, president has to give his assent to that. So there is no question of doubt in that. So president is bound to accept the advice. The statement is right. So it is true. Moving to the next question. Question number 9. In parliamentary government, executive is responsible before legislature. So there is close relationship between executive and legislature. In which form of the government? Parliamentary form of government. In presidential form of government, three organs, that is executive, legislature and judiciary, remain separate. There is no relationship at all. They work independently. But in parliamentary form of government, executive are chosen from legislature. So there is close relationship. Legislature has control over executive also by asking certain questions, right? So they can change the executive also, legislature. So the statement is true. Parliamentary form of government, executive is responsible before the legislature, and through legislature indirectly to the people also. Next question is, political homogeneity is one of the characteristics of parliamentary form of government. Now what is homogeneity? You must understand homogeneity, एक सारता, एक जैसे ख्याल रखने वाले एक पार्टी फॉर्म करते हैं. So political parties are formed on the basis of ideologies, following one ideology only, right? So they become one. So when the government is formed, it is taken into consideration that people from same kind of ideology should form the government. So it is, and the homogeneity, political homogeneity is one of the characteristics of parliamentary form of government. Statement is true, but if you talk about the homogeneity, in India, there is no political homogeneity among the parties who are forming the government. The government of coalition is working there. Different ideologies background, having different ideologies background, political parties unite just to form the government, just to be in power. Though the statement is true, political homogeneity is one of the characteristics of the parliamentary form of government. So these were the 10 questions that I did, and I tried to make it clear. Hopefully you got it, how to solve true and false questions, right? Thank you, best wishes, best of luck for your exam. God bless you, take care.